IPV advised. The U.S. military expects the tender audience to unfold live.
The Dirty 30 Podcast.
And we're back. The Dirty 30 Podcast, Episode 9.
What the hell is up, babies?
Woo! Something, baby.
Yeah, Papa. How you feeling?
I'm full, man. I'm full. How are you?
Dude, I'm still full from Thanksgiving feast for sure, dude. Full of food, full of love, and all that other cheesy Hallmark bullshit, you know?
Oh, I gobbled up all the turkeys, all the hams, the giblets, the penises, the ginies.
The penises and the Johnnies.
Oh, my God.
What you want to do is you want to put it on right there and just, Hiawatha.
I find that instead of, like, when I was a little bit younger, I guess, I sound like such an old man now. But when I was a little bit younger, I'd just get a bunch of plates of food. Now I'm just getting one plate of food, but I'm making that one plate count. Yeah. And I'm one of those eaters that I don't mind if my food touches. If I merge, that's totally cool.
Yeah, dude. Well, other than the food, I also enjoy the football on Thanksgiving. And there's some good fucking games on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man. Fantasy football is going off right now, too. Our league, we've got a friends league going on, Gangster's Paradise. I know you're in another, I think you're in like 2 or 3 other, I don't know, you fucking do all kinds of leagues.
Yeah, I got 3 leagues going this year. It consumes way too much of my Sundays than I'd like to admit, but yeah, things are looking up in fantasy football. I mean, Thursday games, Thanksgiving morning game, that Detroit Lions game was a heater of a game. It went like right towards the end of the game, but it was like good fantasy implications. And yeah, it's exciting, dude. These Monday night games tonight are going to dictate what happens, you know what I mean, in the rest of fantasy. But we're just going to have to wait and see. But anybody out there that's in our fantasy leagues that listens to this podcast, I hope you guys are all shaking in your goddamn boots because Cheyne and I think, are coming for you.
It's getting wild. I know I already secured a playoff spot for our league, but I'm shitting the bed right now, kind of, so I'm hoping on some big shit. But, yeah, I'm going to have to pick it up in the playoffs. I'm going to have to fucking step up because everybody's coming up. I got all my best players coming back from injury right now, though. So in the next couple of weeks, in the biggest games of the season, I've got my star running back coming back. I've got a tight end that averages like 18 points a game. Yeah. It's going to be good.
Well, dude, speaking of star running back, want to give a huge shout out to Brian Simpson on the BS with Brian Simpson podcast. Played.
Oh my God, baby!
Played the track that Cheyne and I made, that trap banger slapper, if you will.
Yeah, he kills it. So straight up, he's like a fucking killer of a comedian, and we're just honored that he's even fucking with us and like reposting it, whether or not he fucks with us. Really, I'm honored for him to call me autistic. That was probably the funniest shit I've heard in a while.
I don't know if they're talented or autistic or if they got entirely too much time. For the record, we don't have time at all.
No, honestly, we make music. That's where we kind of come from on the art side, but whipping a song together real quick isn't too hard for us. It was just, you inspired us, man. You inspired it with just that idea was fucking hilarious, and we had to do it. We just had to follow up with it. So thanks for fucking giving it some love.
Yeah, thanks for the kind words too. Go check out his podcast, BS with Brian Simpson. Check that out.
I want to talk to Simpson.
Oh, fly me to the moon like that bitch Lisa Simpson.
That's what's up, baby.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
So straight up, though, I'm hardly impressed with things that happened in history with December 2nd.
Yeah, and December 2nd on this day.
I'm impressed, but I'm hardly impressed. The thing I'm impressed with is that 1998 Shania Twain, her video, That Don't Impress Me Much, debuted on CMT, Country Music Television.
That don't impress me much.
I've been working on these transitions, and That one, yeah, that one felt
baby.
good.
Shania baby.
Came in, baby.
Well, let's take it back. 1967, David Bowie's single Rubber Band was released in the UK on December 2nd. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
That's not bad.
This one's pretty rock and roll. 1973, The Who and some companions were jailed overnight for $6,000 worth of destruction they opposed on a hotel room after a show. I mean,
and that was probably like fucking $20,000 of damage now.
Yeah.
If you like think about what the damage is worth.
Oh man, but how rock and roll is that, baby? You gotta love
Right?
it.
1983, MTV aired Michael Jackson's Thriller for the first time. And this is before, the new documentaries came out. So Thriller and Michael Jackson are still dope as fuck.
Hey, he made Thriller, man.
That's what's up,
But seriously, I didn't know that this was the day, December 2nd. Seems like a wasted opportunity that it didn't come out a couple months earlier before Halloween. You think Thriller, Halloween? I don't know why. Right around Thanksgiving time, it's like, hey, Michael Jackson just dropped this horror heater. Go check this thing out. I mean, but it stood the test of time, and it got recepted well. So,
right. I don't know if you like fucking, but in 1988, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Willie Nelson, they all appeared on Geraldo to discuss sex on the road.
Oh, was probably a very fascinating discussion and dialogue with.
I mean, I can
probably
see
just arrogant ass Gene
Kiss.
Simmons. Yeah, it was.
I could see Kiss killing it in that, but
I don't know.
Willie joined in.
Arrogant ass Gene Simmons just like sitting on a couch talking about how like, yeah, I've fucked 10,000 bitches, no big deal.
Right?
He's just an asshole, dude. How's this one? 1986, year of my birth. By the way,
Ooh.
Good year, like a fine wine. Jerry Lewis checked into the Betty Ford Clinic to overcome a painkiller addiction. So I mean,
Fuck yeah.
The biggest stars and the biggest entertainers usually sometimes have the biggest sets of baggage. But painkillers have been an epidemic for this long. This is 1986. I mean, we're talking over 30 years ago. This is still a prevalent issue today. Get your shit together, America. What are we doing?
What are you doing? And you know what? Speaking of getting your shit together, she got her shit together. Happy birthday, Britney Spears. Happy birthday.
Oh, Britney, she did get her shit together.
Yeah. Oh, that bitch used to be bald, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, bald. Who cares? It's still
Whatever.
Britney,
Aaron
else?
Rodgers. Happy
Aaron
birthday.
Rodgers, happy birthday. And he got a W yesterday. Shout out Aaron Rodgers. There you go,
That's
buddy.
what's up.
There you go. Action Bronson.
Oh, that's dope. I like him.
Yeah,
I like
dude.
his shit.
Ancient Aliens with Action Bronson. It's one of the best TV programs, I think, ideas ever produced.
Yeah.
Nelly Furtado.
Ooh.
Nelly. Not that Nelly. Not the St. Louis Nelly. We're talking with the last name Furtado. The pop star. And here's one. Lucy Liu.
Oh, talking about fine wines.
50 years old, Lucy Liu. I'm just going to
She's
go out
50.
and say it. Would smash for sure. Lucy
Right?
Liu. Get out of here.
Someone I wouldn't smash and whose birthday it would have been, who would have also actually I don't know how old they would have been, honestly, but they were 50 when this happened. They died. But Gianni Versace. Yeah, that's a dark one, dude. That's a dark one.
Versace, they made a whole show about it on FX. The same people that made the OJ documentaries. It was like the True Crime or whatever, American Crime. They made one about him, and I watched it. It was pretty gnarly. The dude fucking got murdered, like straight up, just murdered execution style.
Yeah, it's obviously so off date on this one, but it was July 15th in 1997. He was shot twice execution style by a .40 caliber. Oof.
Imagine the size of the exit wound, 40 caliber.
Yeah, in his Miami Beach mansion, dude. And it was like, it's some weird like conspiracy to it where it's the one day that it was without his bodyguard and all this other weird shit too.
Yeah, what's the weirdest, the bummer about it is like, it would suck to get shot it would suck to die from bullet wounds to the chest, but how shitty would it be to die in sandals? You know? I don't want to get shot in sandals, man, you know?
Honestly, though, you know who else got shot in sandals and died in sandals?
Who, Shane?
The Indians and the Native Americans. And that brings us to our list of top 5 favorite Thanksgiving dishes.
With Thanksgiving right behind us, we thought we'd pay homage to some of our favorite dishes of the day. It's a day, really, I mean, the historical implications of it are what they are. But honestly, it's a day of just chilling with family and eating some fucking food. And if you're lucky, maybe going home with some leftovers.
On that note, real quick, I had seen someone make a comment about this recently, how nobody takes claim to the leftovers. Like, everybody loves the meal so much, but then when it comes to leftovers, they're always just like, oh, no thanks. But it's like, everybody needs to kind of take a fucking stance now and step up. Take leftovers. Take some leftovers.
I did this year, and I didn't feel bad about it because I like helped pack up all the food and like divvy it all out, all the leftovers and stuff like that. But like, honestly,
maybe hit a quick round of dishes, help out a little bit. I think some fucking leftovers.
I think this year though, like last year, I was doing the keto thing, and like I've always just gone like the past few years pretty light on Thanksgiving, but this year I kind of compensated for it, and I was like,
I'm doing the Weedo things on Thanksgiving, dude. I'm smoking hard before that meal.
All right, so let's start off with the glue of every Thanksgiving plate, and that's mashed potatoes. Everybody knows that they're super high starch, super high carb. You can't eat mashed potatoes with every fucking meal, but well, I mean, you could if you wanted to, but you got to spend extra output, you know.
Cool them down. If you cool them down, it's like cleansing the gut.
Yeah,
isn't this? Yeah,
it helps with
some weird shit.
It helps with that microbiome.
Right, but I love mashed potatoes, loaded mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to throw the gravy in there as well. It's also a staple that you kind of just use as
bacon
the glue
bits.
To cover. Yeah, I mean mashed potatoes though on Thanksgiving. Shout out you, motherfucker.
I love when my cream corn merges with that mashed potatoes, but it's like my mom's recipe from over the years, and then my sisters kind of perfected it, and I have it just in case I need to hold on to it one day. I think I am gonna forever hold on to this recipe because I'm gonna have to carry it on every Thanksgiving meal. It's so delicious. But dude, I'm going cream corn, baby.
Dude, that's a good one. I've had your mom's recipe before, your family's recipe, and I'm not a big cream corn. Like, it's not at my family Thanksgivings, but every time I've had it of your recipe, it's fucking super good.
Something about it, I don't know.
Yeah, that just like sings the holidays for you too, though. I remember whenever we would do like Friendsgiving and shit, you'd always be like, I got that cream corn on lock.
Yeah, it goes with everything else. I mean, there's usually some turkey, some ham, you know, all the normals if you're a meat eater. And it's something about it. Something about it.
All right, I'm throwing green bean casserole in this list.
Ooh.
I'm pretty biased because I usually bring a green bean casserole wherever I go for Thanksgiving. Just because, I don't know, I've been making it for a while. But the secret is, and I'm going to throw this out there for anybody, is that when you make it, you essentially just mix the cans of mushroom soup and green beans in the casserole dish, right? But then in a separate bowl, you put some milk, some whole milk. You put a tablespoon of soy sauce, and you put a teaspoon of black pepper, and you mix that in a bowl, and then you pour that on top of the entire soup and fucking green bean mix everything together, and then you throw some of the French onions in the mix, and then you bake it, and then you for a little while, and then you throw the rest of the onions on top, and then bake that shit for like 15 more minutes, and then it comes out just fucking bow wow. So
I'm about to make some of that shit just to eat some on a fucking Tuesday or something.
This is what you get here at the Dirty 30 podcast. You tune in maybe to laugh or just bullshit with Shane and I. You might get a recipe or two. Who knows?
That's true. It's true. I gotta go kind of on the sweet side, but it's like a sweet, savory, weird kind of taste, and usually it's more on the dinner side than the dessert side. But yams and apples, it's like maybe it's another family thing. Some people always do like a weird sweet potato dish, but this is going like more of a cinnamon apple side with like a hint of sweet potato. Oh my God. So good.
That sounds pretty bomb, dude. I don't think I've had that from you as well. I've had the
Maybe.
Yeah.
I might have done. We've done some Friendsgivings. I might have had that incorporated in somehow.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw this last one out there, and just makes me feel like a basic white girl for saying it because it's pumpkin flavored, but pumpkin pie, dude.
Dude, it's in that sweet potato family. I'm pretty sure that pumpkin pie is fucking. I gotta say, like I worked at Costco when I was younger. Costco pumpkin pies, as soon as they hit the fucking streets, dog, I grab one. I know it's not the best pumpkin pie. It's not the best pumpkin pie. Homemade pumpkin pie, people that make them from scratch, all kinds of great shit. Costco doesn't have the best pumpkin pie, but they have a fucking great pumpkin pie. Absolutely.
That Twerklin signature, dude.
Dude. Twerklin all day, baby.
I don't know what it is about Thanksgiving at the end of the day, but like just sealing the whole deal with a cup of coffee and a slice of pumpkin pie is just like.
I thought you were gonna say with twerking.
Well, that too, but that usually happens later in the evening.
I kind of feel like twerking right now. I kind of feel. Can you hear? I feel like I hear some twerking music. I feel like I hear some twerking music coming.
It's coming.
Ooh, it's the Michelada minute.
Fuck yes.
I love this sip.
Oh, dude. It tastes so good once it hits your lips.
Dude, I've been getting these picante. There's like a little extra spicy.
Dude, you and I are fucking 2 states away, and we're just twinning it up. That fucking picante Modelo Michelada in a can. Shout out the Modelo company. You guys have been making straight heat for years.
Honestly, I didn't want to tell anyone this secret ever, but I guess today's the day. I've been calling Tim my pinche picante for a long time now.
Oh, dude. Of course you have. Of course
I've actually never called him that ever, but from now on, from today, December 2nd on, I'm going to start calling Tim my pinche picante.
I'd prefer papi picante, but...
Ooh, papi pescado, fish, I love you.
Cheers to all of you guys out there that partake in the Michelada Minute with us. As always, every episode is brought to you with the main ingredient of a tall, cold Michelada.
Yeah, we love it. I hope you guys love it. We do. And we're never going to stop that.
We also love satire. Satire is one of my favorite things and one of my favorite forms of humor. So let's bring you the next segment, which is the strain of the episode. We're going to kick it over to our straight edge correspondent for another rendition of the strain of the episode.
The strain of the episode.
Hi, Power Hour here. Skywalker OG, also known as Skywalker OG Kush, is a potent cross between the hugely popular Skywalker and OG Kush strains. The Skywalker OG buds have the distinct aroma characteristics of Kush strains, that spicy, herbal, and dipped in diesel fuel scent, with a flavor profile to match. These buds have medium-sized, dense, round olive green nugs with burnt orange twisty hairs and rich orange undertones. These nugs appear dusted with a fine layer of milky white trichomes and sweet sticky resin. The deeply physical and mentally relaxing effects of Skywalker OG come on after just a few tokes. Users describe the Skywalker OG high as one that's fast-acting and heavily sedating, putting the body in an utterly relaxed state accompanied with a head-in-the-clouds euphoric high that fades into a deep and peaceful sleep upon the come down. Due to these potent indica effects, Skywalker OG is a go-to strain for people seeking relief from conditions such as chronic stress, pain due to injury or illness, cramping, and mild to moderate cases of depression. Enjoy Skywalker OG.
Skywalker OG. I love it. I love that strain so much. And I just got to thank Power Hour. Thank Corey for doing that.
Big shout out to him. That was sent to us from the beautiful country of South Korea, if I'm not mistaken, which is beautiful. Thank you, Corey, very much for recording that and sending it over. We know it's a big ask for us to ask our straight edge friends or to read anything that's non-straight edge related. You know, it kind of goes against their whole philosophy, but
it's not
they
even
appreciate the humor.
that it's not even stuff that's like non-straight edge related. It's like, yeah, we're kind of going out of our way to hit up our friends that make it a point to just not live a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
To kind of open a really weird back door to that, just to kind of poke their finger out to us for 1 second and just like, it's, I don't know. Well, this is also too, we're hitting up people that we've been close to for a very long time now. We're not just hitting up random straight edge people and going, hey, you want to read some weed stuff? Like, it's
not yet.
It's very comical. No, but we will get there. And on that note, Toby, if you hear this, I keep that PMA. I fucking faster than the world, dude. Love H2O. If you ever want to read any of these, just let me know, man. Just hit me up.
The straight of the episode.
Yeah, dude. You hit up our reggae brothers. I love that, dude. I love making these little tunes for this stuff. It's just been super hilarious. It's like,
it's honestly my favorite segment on the entire podcast is the straight of the episode with our straight edge friends. I mean,
right?
I feel
we're
the
gonna
love.
have a lot of fun. Something too. It's like kind of got this Buffalo Soldiers vibe, and that's like, we are the Buffalo Soldiers right now. It's coming up.
Oh, we've coming up quick.
We've got fucking next episode. We're actually going to be recording it from Buffalo with our friend Robbie, Slob Glass. We're going to be possibly inebriated. I have no idea really what it's going to be like. We're going to try to do it in a half an hour, but I have a feeling, and it's not like a spoiler, but something we might do is if we kind of ramble on that one and we kind of go into more of an hour, we might do like a 1 week and then the next week release part 2 and record or like release them in half an hour little segments. Cause it's going to be a wild one. It's going to be a wild one.
I could see a couple different like side segments or side pieces coming off of it as well, just because I know that we've got a couple things planned. So, and we're going to be documenting the whole thing video wise. So we're planning on putting out like some dope content on our YouTube as well. So you can check that out for some more dope stuff there. Speaking of which, dude, the video that you made for the Suwoo track got some pretty decent love on YouTube, man.
Oh yeah. It got like 1,000+ YouTube views.
Just like the first few days.
First couple days. It was fucking hilarious, honestly.
Which is hilarious to us because, like I said, we're doing this podcast and we're kind of just putting it out, and we've been pushing it a little bit, you know what I mean, from both of our end. But honestly, just like everything that's been happening has been organic so far, so it's been cool to see.
Yeah, if there's any weird chance that people are listening to this podcast because of the weird trend, like we kind of push these songs as the podcast because really we're not pushing any like music project right now, and I don't know. It's just kind of funny. It's like, that's kind of what we were doing. We just kind of put it out on the YouTube page that we're using for the podcast. But if you're listening, fuck yeah, welcome, man. We're just chilling, or woman. I don't know. Or you could identify as a squirrel. I don't know. That's up to you. We're totally open with all of it. And fuck yeah.
Shout out you guys. You know who else I want to shout out? I want to shout out this week's or this episode's Party with People of the Past winner. I thought about it quite a bit over the past couple of weeks. Like, who do I want to party with? And this week we're going with the infamous almighty Jimi Hendrix for a multitude of reasons. First off, Jimi Hendrix, just the guitar legend that he is, fellow musician, and, doing some digging and doing some research. And I think that we shared like some of the same sort of like vibes as far as experimentation or drugs and otherwise. And by that I mean, it wasn't much of a let's do a bunch of stimulants. It was more definitely a weed smoker. I mean, everybody knows Jimi Hendrix smoked a shitload of weed and wrote a shitload of music. And when you're talking about partying with people of the past, that is a huge way in which Cheyne and I party is by putting some instruments in our hands, putting some drinks and some weed in us and seeing what comes out, Jimi Hendrix also experimented with some LSD here and there. Actually, I think a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I never did it with him, but I've done it, and I feel like you get acid powers, and when you get acid powers, sometimes you can look at other people and know if they've ever done acid, and you can look at Jimi Hendrix and know that he did acid. So, it's pretty cool, man.
There's also the infamous
we went
story
to
of
his
him.
grave, dude. Oh, there's all kinds of fucking stories, but yeah, which one are you thinking?
The one where he cut his head open and then put acid on his bandana and fucking...
I had always heard that, but I never knew if that was like...
Is it true?
It seems... I don't know. I have no idea. That sounds fucking wild. I'm all about it. I'm not going to do it, but I put acid in my eye once and... whatever. I'll throw that out to the world. It's now on a recording. It was water-based, not vodka-based, I think is the other one. They do like an alcohol-based or some shit.
Got him.
Whatever. Allegedly. I don't care. Who's going to get mad at me? I'm not going to become a president or some shit.
Yeah, I see. And this is where Jimmy went off of the tracks. Is he also did a bunch of heroin. And
not doing that one. Not doing that one. Not in these eyes.
Not in these. Just like 9/11. Never again. So Jimmy was born in November 27th, 1942. He died September 18th, 1970. He was age 27, part of the
27 Club, baby.
The 27 Club.
We went to his grave. We went. When you were up here visiting, we actually went by the grave of Jimi Hendrix. It's beautiful up here in Washington. It's really crazy. I feel like there's like a lot of plots for his family surrounding it, and I don't know if it's even people that know that there's plots for them. I have no idea how it works, but it's a pretty beautiful sight.
Yeah, that was a trip, dude. That was a trip being at his gravestone. We kind of just stopped by. There's still a little bit of like snow on the ground. And just seeing like all the people that left shit all over that little, it was almost like a mini mausoleum sort of, but just with a bunch of different stuff, guitar picks everywhere. Little bags of weed. Yeah. If I wasn't mistaken, just kind of sitting around.
Yeah. It's a crazy place. I saw like a lone coyote there one time. I went there with my brother-in-law and like my niece and my nephew when I was still just visiting Washington. And there was like a lone coyote wandering the cemetery, and it had this creepy Jimi Hendrix vibe, and it was like, oh, is it him? Is it him? It was almost like a Wayne's World, Jim Morrison type shit going on. But I'd want to party with him. Like you were saying, sometimes partying isn't going out and raging and spending a ton of money and bottle service and cocaine and weird shit. Sometimes to me, I know to you, get me some joints, maybe a couple beers, maybe like a fucking bottle of wine, little bit of whiskey. I don't know, minimal alcohol, but a bunch of weed, some guitars, and someone else that can fucking keep up in a jam. And it is the biggest fucking mental party that I've ever been to. It's a very stimulating and very fucking awesome thing to do. And jamming with Jimmy would be huge, man.
That would be huge. Imagine showing Jimi Hendrix like technology of today, like musically, like, hey, dude, these are all your effects now. It's like built in. Right. It's like a little box. It'd be a trip. It'd be a trip to think about.
Yeah, I covered Purple Haze in 8th grade talent show with a couple friends.
Fuck yeah, you did.
Pretty funny to think about now. So, shout out Jimmy. Wish we could party. The end of this Michelada is definitely for you, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Shout out this dude. Cheers to you, Jimi Hendrix. I guess that brings us to our end of the episode. And at the end of the episode, we always like to leave you with a quote from our good friend Jeff Goldblum. Shane, why don't you give it to us this week?
It's an important fact of life. War. Jeff Goldblum.
Have a great one, everybody.
Have a great one.
Radiation LSD experiments on Americans attract the attention of a younger audience. CIA Director James Woolsey said he expects the experiments to be reinforcements for TV and rock stars. The U.S. military expects the younger audience to fully comply.
The Dirty 30 Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Dirty 30 podcast. You can check us out on all our social media platforms at TDTPcast. That's TDTPcast.